Good morning, everyone. I'm Caitlin with Wiregrass Daily News, and I'm here with Miss Ann Cotton
Hi
with the
there.
Cultural Arts Center. Good morning, Miss
Good
Ann.
morning. It's glad to be here.
I'm
First
glad you're
time.
here, and it's my second time.
Never
so,
done a podcast. This is kind of cool.
yeah. So, Miss Ann is the director
Mhm.
of the Cultural Arts Center. Miss Ann, what do you do as the director?
Ooh, okay. So kind of like a one-woman operation. The Cultural Arts Center is housed in the old Southside Elementary School building on South St. Andrew Street. So it's literally an almost 100-year-old building.
Wow.
Inside are four other organizations that are performing arts organizations. They're my tenants, or my babies, as I call them sometimes. Okay. There's Southeast Alabama Community Theater, and then there's the Student Company for SEAC.
Hmm.
Then there's the Tri-State Community Orchestra, and their youth partner is the Wiregrass Youth Symphony. Providence Christian School has their choral department, their drama department, and then Dothan Ballroom Dance Club is there, and we have various dance teachers. And although they're not tenants, they're there on a regular basis doing ballroom dance lessons. So all of those stay in there. And in the back, we have the Messy Space Studio, which is an art studio, and it has a ceramics class. It has a pottery class with a kiln. And then we do after school programs for pre-Ks all the way to sixth grade. And then we do summer camps back there for kids.
So, a little
So
bit of everything for
it's spread
everyone.
out on a school campus.
Hmm.
So the front street is South St. Andrew Street and the back street is South Apple Tree Street, and we're all over the campus. So
I
we have
never
a
realized that
lot of
building was
art in one
that
roof. See,
big. Yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
42,000 square feet. We have a shop where they build all the set pieces for Providence and for Southeast Alabama Community Theater.
Now, the people who build those props, are
Mhm.
those students or
They're
volunteers?
kind of both. We have each. There are adult shows and then there's student shows.
Mhm,
Okay, and the student shows are they have adult leaders, mentors,
mhm.
and they're primarily student led. And they have young people that work with them, and they have adult mentors that work on the set pieces, as well as talk to them about props. They work with sound and lighting and stage management and everything like that. And it's to give them the real experience of being for those that are on stage, but a bunch of us are backstage,
Yeah.
and we learn how to make that work, how to create the magic on stage from backstage or from a booth
Oh,
or with sets and props.
so I have actually seen one of your productions.
Okay.
We took our son to see Madagascar. It was
Okay.
fantastic. We
Uh-huh.
loved it. Alex the lion was incredible. What was the little the lemur, or
I know what you're talking about.
I
Yes.
can't remember.
Uh-huh.
She was so fantastic.
Mhm. Oh,
My
yeah.
son, after watching that, he was like, "Okay, I wanna be in a play," and I was like, "Well, let's put you in a play." Maybe
Well, now,
one day.
let
He's
me
not
tell you
quite
this.
ready,
Well,
but
let
go
me tell you
ahead.
this thing because SEAC has summer camps
Mhm.
coming up. You can go to seact.com and look at their summer camp lineup. So they're for all ages. I mean, and they do stage work. They're in a play. They do a production. Mom and dad come and see it on a Friday. It's a week-long camp, about 3 hours a day, 8 to 12. And you learn. You get costumes. You get your props. You're on stage, and then there are those that are backstage working it because they don't really want to be on stage, but that's
Yeah,
cool. So you can kind of get all of it.
but
He
you're
would have a blast with
you're
that.
you're part of the production in some way.
Exactly. And mom and dad always gets to see a really cool play that is on stage that, they thoroughly enjoy doing and they're a star, for that week of camp. Yeah.
That's really neat. Let
Mhm.
me give you my card whenever
That's all
whenever
right.
we leave.
I will send you information.
Okay,
Okay.
that sounds
Absolutely.
great. So, okay, you're here to talk about something specific today, though.
I
So
am, but that's okay.
no, 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 I love
I
it.
love advertising for everybody because, it's like let me just say this. I always like to put a plug in for the Tri-State Community Orchestra. An orchestra is different than a band or a community band. It's a living, breathing orchestra. And so they have all the musical pieces that go for an orchestra. And when they put on a show, it's an orchestral show. And so they are the only orchestra in Southeast Alabama, left to right of the state. The next one you'll find is all the way in Montgomery. And so we have people from Fort Rucker who come and play in the band. In the orchestra, we have people that come from Panhandle, Florida, and Southwest Georgia that drive over to be part of an orchestra.
and
And they have cello ensembles. And do not laugh. They put on a production one time, 4 women, mothers, 2 of them brand spanking new with crawling babies. They were dressed in their pajamas and their hairs were in rollers and everything like that. They played an AC/DC song with cellos. It was a knockout. Seriously, a knockout.
In pajamas
In pajamas
rollers?
on stage with what were, baby toys on the floor. They were
Oh, I
part
love
of
that.
Wiregrass
That's so
Talent Quest
neat.
as entertainment. And
That's
it was
really neat.
so cool to watch them take an AC/DC song and turn it into something with, cellos.
Cello has to be one of my favorite
Oh, it's mine.
instruments. I remember whenever I was younger and YouTube was like
Mhm.
just a thing, and I was always searching for cello music, and my
Uh-huh.
dad was like, "That's kind of depressing," but I'm like, "It's beautiful."
Oh, but it
It
speaks to my
it
soul,
does, it
okay?
does, it really does. You can just feel the vibration whenever you're listening to it,
Uh-huh.
especially live.
Oh, yes, and I made a promise to myself that when I do retire and I do have more time, then I'm gonna go get one of them, Anna Marie Tysinger probably, to come teach me cello and let me learn because I really wanna see
I
if I can
wonder
do
if
it. I
it's a
can
hard
play guitar,
instrument
I
to
can play
learn.
piano. Let me see if I can learn cello. It's a different beast, and it has its own string lineup that is entirely different than a guitar, which has frets, okay? So but I really wanna try.
I tried
It
playing
just
guitar, but my hands aren't big enough, I don't think.
Well, you
It
have to get
was
a smaller neck.
it was the
Smaller
stretch,
neck.
I couldn't
Yeah.
do it.
You have to buy a guitar that has a smaller neck so your hands can slide down it because I have small hands.
That's
They're
a
not
good
big.
tip. That's a
Mhm.
good tip. If I ever jump
You
back
need
into it, I'll
someone
remember
at a
that.
good music store that can show you the guitars that have smaller necks and tell them that you've got small hands. You need to be able to slide that hand down as if you're gonna slide down a string. Show me your guitars that have smaller necks, okay? So
That's a good tip. Thank you,
Mhm.
Miss Ann.
We would love for you to play, okay? Art's fun, okay?
I love art. No, I one of my New Year's resolutions this year was to I really like to work with different mediums. I'm
Mhm.
not a professional, but
Yes,
I do have
neither am I.
some, not to toot my own horn, but I do
Yeah.
have some natural talent. But I told myself, my New Year's resolution this year was to I get hyper fixated on things and
Uh-huh.
then I drop them and then I
Yeah.
go to something else. But I told myself, I was like, you're not going to drop this. You're going to practice it. You're going to keep practicing your alcohol markers and
Uh-huh.
watercolors and just keep
Exactly.
practicing at it. And I've done okay with sticking to that
Uh-huh.
resolution. Not the best, but
Don't ever judge yourself. It's a work in progress. I mean, it took Van Gogh a lifetime to perfect both his technique and the mediums that he used because as you know, mediums that are developed back in his day, they changed over time. So as they improved, he improved. His technique got better. He could see better. He knew what he was doing. He knew how to make that brush do what he wanted it to do. When you first learn, it's like a strange tool. So like when we work with kids after school and we also teach in Headland Elementary and Abbeville Elementary, when we teach them a brush, we try to find a brush that fits their hand.
mhm,
Too big a brush, it's like I'm house painting, okay?
right.
And when you want to teach them about detail, it's getting them to learn how to use it. There are all the sides to a brush, and you've got to learn what you do when you do broad strokes, you do skinny strokes, and how do you do this? Same thing with we have temper sticks that you roll up, and they're small like a pencil, and you can do it on the side, and it makes a thin line. You can do it on the bottom, and it
I'm
makes
just
a
going to
bold
come to one of
line.
your classes.
Just
I'm
come
gonna
watch.
I'm going to come
Come
sit
watch.
in on one
We'll
of your
just do a
classes.
podcast there, okay?
That sounds perfect. We'll pack up all the cameras
That's
and
right.
bring them there, and we'll do it that way.
That's right. Back when we had COVID, we had a little studio because we had to do art online for our teachers, and we would pack up their art boxes and take it to the school, and then the teacher would play the video, and the kids would do the art from the video. So
Had to
no
find a
lie.
way.
Yeah,
Had to
see?
find a way then.
That's right. That's
Goodness
right. We had a
gracious.
grant we had to do. So
So
now back to the fun part.
back to the scheduled program. So we do have Talent Quest Jr.
We do.
coming up.
We do. April 10th is Wiregrass Talent Quest Jr. It will be at the Cultural Arts Center, and it is for youth ages 5 to 18. And they would show their talent in one of 4 genres. That would be vocal, dance, theater, or instrumental. And so if you've got a talent in any one of those, we want you to get your act together and register. Now, we've put it out there that March the 21st, which is this Friday, you need to register online and let me know you want to participate. However, we also, the spring break is coming. If you need an extension to the 28th of March, the board said we could do the extension and get our students in that way because we have to have enough time to get your faces on there online for People's Choice Award votes. We have to get the tickets printed out so we know how many tickets to print for everybody to come and then begin to do the advertisements and put them out there. So we want to let everybody know that you're participating in the show because there's benefits to winners in certain categories to get other things. So we'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay.
Because that's my favorite part.
Oh, it is in red. So
It is in red.
So participants have until March 21st to sign up. Where do they go to sign up?
It's really simple. Go to, now listen carefully.
Okay.
www.the, that's THE, cultural arts with an S, center.org, O-R-G, /WTQ. The reason I say it like that is there is a culturalartscenter.org, and it is in Arkansas. And they have an employee named Ann, and she will not know a thing about Wiregrass Talent Quest because that is not what they do. Okay?
Ann in Arkansas is going to be really confused.
She's going to be really lost when you call her or email her with something. But put the THE, the Cultural Arts
Center.org
/WTQ.
WTQ.
Wiregrass Talent Quest. See?
Wiregrass Talent Quest. Okay.
All right.
All right.
And everything they need is on there. There's a PDF that has the dates to remember, so they'll know the order that everything goes in. There is a paper form if you want to look at it and play with it before you go to the online form to fill it out. There's also a frequently asked question sheet that will probably answer any question you might have about what do we do the night before when we have dress rehearsal? What does that mean? What do we need to wear? Judges, there are 3 judges that judge the 4 categories. So they are going to look for both your stage presence, they're going to look for your professionalism, the technical ability related to your genre. They're going to look, and they pay great attention to costuming. So, don't come like you dress every day to go to school. That's not that kind of talent show. It is literally a show with people from the area who come to watch it, whether they have a student or a child in there, period. The judges also look, in many instances, like for instrumentalists, the difficulty of your selection and how well you perform it. They look for eye contact with them. They look for eye contact and confidence with the audience. So those are things that the judges are going to judge on. They're going to ask you questions, just like if you've watched, all the different kind of talent shows that they have on TV. Some of this is scripted after that. When you perform, the judge will ask you a question related to your performance or related to how you got to that performance, and you'll give them some information. We will give you your question, so you won't panic. We'll give you a question when you come for dress rehearsal, so you'll know what's there and you can polish your answer, okay? The other thing is that you will pay a fee to become a contestant. So if you're the only person performing, a single contestant, it's $30 for single contestants. If there's 2 or 3 performing together, like a duo, that'll be $40. If there's 4 to 9 contestants, that's going to be $50, and 10 or more will be $75. And those categories are like a choir, or an ensemble, or a duo in musical theater, or a trio, or a singing trio, a singing duet, or something like that. It allows you, if you do have an act that has more than one person, bring it on. It's not an individual act that we're looking for. We're looking for you to bring groups. We're looking for dance studios that have a group that they want to do this as a test before they go to some competition. Bring it on. We would love to see it.
Wow.
So we've had we had a dance company that came and had 32 members of the troupe there.
And that stage is big enough to hold
It'll
them.
hold it. It gets tight.
Yeah.
I mean, it
might
gets
be a
tight.
squeeze, but
and you have to watch where you're doing. That's why the dress rehearsal, so you can gauge where your space is on stage and everything like that. Practice the walking out.
Yeah.
So see. So it's an actual show. We open and close. We have an MC. The whole event is sponsored by 5 Star Credit Union, and Mike Brooks from 5 Star is going to be our MC. And he looks forward to this every year. His son participated in it one year, and he's moved on, got an agent and everything. He's doing great. And so, and a lot of kids will have someone videoing them while we're on stage in their actual performance. And they use that in applications for other talent shows, or applications for college, or any application that needs a video of you performing an act. There it is. So your parents can video this at no charge. Okay, you can come in and video your performance.
So this production is it could be a good stepping stone.
Oh, absolutely.
For any of the contestants.
A lot of them use them for college applications to show that they've been in a live performance, that they have performed before live judges or a live audience, that they understand what the difficulties are there. They also understand too that we compile and put a database together, because people do call us and ask, do you know a young person that can play a musical instrument for my whatever? Okay, I have a business event. I need a little entertainment. If you got something, I can send them names off my list of students who are participating in this and say, this one does that, this one does that. I'll give them a contact number. They'll contact the student and ask them if they can perform for that, sometimes for money, sometimes for free. But every performance is what builds your confidence and builds your resume for other things. Okay. So
Right.
this is one more step.
That sounds like a lot, but it sounds really exciting.
Oh, it is exciting. It really is. And it's great to watch them. We have so many talented youth in this community. You would be so surprised. Okay. And we have gotten them from Eufaula, Alabama, and all the way from Troy to come down and participate in this.
Well, just looking at TikTok and any of
Yes.
the social media platforms now, all the talent that's coming out of Dothan, Alabama, you can tell.
Oh, yeah.
There's some talent here.
Exactly.
There's absolutely some talent here.
And if you start
little
looking
old
for an
Dothan.
agent, you've got a video of your performance, a live video of your performance, and you can professionally shoot it there and send it off to them. So it's a win-win for y'all. Okay.
So with this production, there will be winners.
Oh, yes, there will be winners.
Tell me about the winners.
Okay, so there is the overall winners. That's first place is $500, second place is $250, third place is $150. Then there's the best of in each category: best of dance, best of theater, best of vocal, best of instrumental. Each one of those categories, the winner gets $100. So you're judged among your own peers, so to speak. Then there's my favorite award. It's the People's Choice Award. And the winner of the People's Choice Award gets $100. But that's not where that stops. All the money that's raised in People's Choice, 30% of the total dollars raised, goes to that winning contestant school. And that winning contestant gets a voice for the arts, to talk to their principal about where they could spend that money to help their school in their performing arts. So we have bought lavalier mics, hanging mics, handheld mics. We've bought band uniforms. We've repaired band instruments. We've bought violins, things like that. We've bought all kinds of things that help the school that wins through the student get things better for their performing arts. And to me, that's a win-win. Arts in school struggle so much to stay arts in school,
right,
and they need help. And even though parents pay a lot for instruments and things like that, or fees for band and stuff like that, there are things that even the booster clubs can't raise the money for that we can assist them with. And theater is one of those things, that they struggle with too. So for them to have the arts and this student be able to be the person that gives you the check, here, school, here's a check. I won People's Choice, and I'm giving you 30%.
And I'm going to tell you what to do with it.
And I'm going to tell you what to do with it. How empowering is that?
That's amazing.
To teach them to use their voice for the arts,
right.
Many times they don't get that chance. Yes.
And I'm going to tell you what I want to do with it.
And we encourage, and I'm encouraging now, when the students' faces get up on Facebook and on our website for People's Choice Award, there'll be a link that you can go vote. The votes are $1 a vote, just like they are on TV and every place else. They're $1 a vote. Schools need to send that information out to every teacher and to every person that works at school. Please support this student from this school. They're trying hard so that we can have money to go back in the arts. And so I'm challenging principals to check the website, see who the students are, because it'll list the school that they go to and where that school is located.
And this is going to be on your Facebook?
And this will be on our Facebook page, and it will be on our website, theculturalartscenter.org. It will be a scrolling thing as well as on the actual Wiregrass Talent Quest page. The students will be on there, and there's a jot form link so that you can go and pay and register to each child to be, give your vote. I want to cast my vote here. And it tallies up and all that money comes in. Students can go by at school, their friends, their parents' workplace. They can get dollars and bring me cash, and it goes toward their votes. So we will tally the votes by Wednesday at midnight. Voting online will cut off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that will be April the 9th. And then we'll pass the hat for anybody that has not voted at the show. That money gets added. And at the end of the night, we'll know who the winner is. But it is one of my most favorite ways to keep the arts live and active in our communities. Because, as the Department of Education struggles with funding now,
mm-hmm.
and as Federal Department of Education changes where it's headed, we're going to seriously be looking at whether the arts are going to continue to play a part in a school setting. And that concerns me. So this is my way of
this is
an
excellent way to give back and to make sure that they still stay alive.
Exactly.
And did you come up with this?
Well,
you
yes.
And some other.
Our board was trying to think of how to do Wiregrass Talent Quest, and at first they wanted to do 3%, and 3% is nothing. And I came back and said, look, guys, Wiregrass Talent Quest in the People's Choice category always raises a lot of money. Why not 30%? That's a good hefty check. I mean, $1,000 check plus, and it's usually over 1,000, is really good to go back to that school and think of what you're doing. Think of what you've put out there. You are doing what our mission is, which is supporting the arts in the community, connecting our community to the arts at our center. Why not connect it at school too? Why not? You want youth to grow up and attend your performing arts series. You want them to be a part of your theater or in your choir or playing an instrument. This is how you do it. It starts with a child in the arts growing up, and then as an adult, they participate.
What a mission statement.
See,
kids
are our future. If you don't support your kids, you don't have a future. I mean, seriously, okay?
That's just facts.
I'm so much older than you. One day you're going to be, something that you're going to do as a young person, as an adult, is going to impact me. That's just how this rolls. So why not let the arts impact the world in a more positive way through the kids that you've brought up that appreciate it and want it to stay? And maybe at some point in time, somebody will listen to us and say, hey, arts are really important in school. It is. We teach at Headland and Abbeville. It is the highlight, and we only teach 6 times a year, okay? And we go to all the grades, and those kids, every kid, failing school, not failing school, they all love us. They want it, and they come when we get there. They're ready to do art. They ask questions. They're involved. They start off the first time saying, I can't, and then they can. Their knowledge grows. They come back and say, oh, you did this last year. I know how to use this. I know what to do with that, okay? And it means everything to them when the Art on the Cart ladies come and we spend 30 minutes doing an art lesson with you. I cannot convey to you, unless I showed you a video, of how it changes them.
I still remember my middle school art teacher, Miss Katz, and I still remember my high school art teacher, Miss Cross. And they did have a really big impact on me, and that's so true. Everything you're saying right now is absolutely true.
As our world changes and as we go through hard times, art was where they get to relax. They get to breathe. It is something that they understand. It's a way to express. Theater is another thing. One of my art teachers also teaches theater in Headland, and it gives those kids a chance to participate, to be a different person, to express themselves in a safe environment, in a role, on stage. I can continue on about what great things it does, but yeah, so I really like this award. Okay, I really do.
I can tell. I can tell you are passionate about the People's Choice Award, and that's why it's so important that the participants they meet that deadline of giving their photo in March.
That's it, March the 21st. We'll extend it to March the 28th. I'll tell you now. I'm fixing to go back to work and recreate the graphic and put it out there that we've extended the deadline to March the 28th.
So it's now it's not March 21st anymore. Now it is March 28th. We need to enter those photos in so people can vote on those People's Choice Awards.
That's right. Get the registration form filled out, pay your fee, let me know what you're doing, let me get you in a lineup, let me set the stage for you to come out and show us your best act, and just come be with us. Come entertain an entire audience of over 300.
Wow. This is it's like Dothan's very own America's Got Talent. That's
kind of what it was patterned after, okay?
That's what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting here. So tell me again, when is Wiregrass Talent Quest Jr?
Okay, the event is Thursday, April the 10th. Show starts at 7 o'clock. It will be at the Cultural Arts Center in the auditorium. Tickets for the event will go on sale April the 1st. Registration deadline for contestants is now March the 28th, at 5 o'clock. We'll need your photos, your music. We'll need the forms filled out. And don't laugh, there is a legal form that parents have to fill out just to cover all the bases, because you are doing music or theater or something like that. And there's all those things that have to do, the legal things that have to do with you playing somebody's music, okay?
Yes.
And if you'll turn all that in and pay the fees by March the 28th, we will get you up and ready to be shown on our Facebook page and on our website, and have a job form ready for you to have People's Choice Award voting start April the 4th. And so you will have from April the 4th as a contestant to April the 9th at midnight, to get everybody to vote. And then we'll pass the hat at the center.
Push those votes.
Oh, yes, we will.
All right. Well, Thank you, Miss Ann.
Thank you for having me. I have so enjoyed this. Okay.
Gosh, thank you so much for coming. It feels good to hear about art again. It really does.
It does. And don't give up on yours. Always keep a sketchbook somewhere. If you travel, throw the sketchbook in there. Okay. My favorite thing is, much like you, I don't have a lot of time. And so I throw the sketchbook in wherever I'm going. And when I do have time, I love watercolor pencils. Okay. It's a medium that travels easily, and you can draw with pencil, and then you can color in with a watercolor pencil. And then when you get time, you can get a little brush, dab it in a little bit of water. It can be out of your water bottle and the top little cap, and you dip the brush in the top of the cap, and then you can paint.
So much.
And then you can paint. And you can shade and do all kinds of things with it and watch it come to life in a whole nother fashion. Try them. You can buy them at Hobby Lobby. You can buy them at Michael's. You can buy them at Walmart. They're made by Crayola. They're watercolor pencils, 24 count.
Watercolor pencils.
Who knew?
Who knew? Who knew? But thank you, Miss Ann.
You're very
welcome.
Thank
you so much for coming and talking to us about this amazing event that's coming up. I can't wait.
And if you have questions, if they have questions, just go to the website, theculturalartscenter.org, and it has a contact page. It'll send me an email. I'll answer you right back then and there. Okay? Be glad to do it.
That sounds good. Well, thank you.
Thank you.